Good day, I'm Elton Robinson with your January 8th grain and oilseed update. It seems we're finally seeing some winter chill creep into the winter after a surprisingly warm holiday season. Now we hear a blast of frigid temperatures from banked Arctic air is expected this weekend over the northern United States. Over the next 3 months, a continuing El Nino should bring lower temperatures and more moisture to the southern United States and warmer temperatures and dryness to the northern region. In the short term, El Nino is also bringing rain to the western United States. It should be noted that the Spanish translation for El Nino is the little boy, and as such, it often misbehaves, in this case bringing the potential for landslides and flooding. El Nino storms are helping fill winter reservoirs in California, but most are still operating below capacity. The rains, while welcome, have not ended what has been a 5-year drought in the state. Also in the news this week is Senator Ted Cruz's recent swipe at the corn industry. Cruz, as you know, is the frontrunner for the Republican presidential candidate in Iowa, which produces more corn than any other state. He is also the only Republican vigorously seeking an end to the renewable fuel standard, which is aimed at increasing the amount of ethanol in gasoline. If taking a stand to bust up this pact between ethanol and corn producers doesn't cost him in Iowa, it could embolden more candidates to take a stand against ethanol. It's definitely something to keep an eye on. Let's wrap up with a report on exports for the period ending December 31st. Wheat exports of 274,000 metric tons were up 8% from the previous week, but down 9% from the prior 4-week average, with Japan, the Philippines, Nigeria, and South Korea as destinations. Corn exports of 138,000 metric tons were down 36% from the previous week and 39% from the prior 4-week average. Countries in South America, along with Jamaica and Japan, were customers. Grain sorghum exports of 108,000 metric tons were down 22% from the previous week and 42% from the prior 4-week average, with China and Mexico as the two destinations. Rice exports of 33,000 metric tons were down 9% from the previous week and 41% from the prior 4-week average, with South Korea, the United Kingdom, and Mexico as top buyers. Soybean exports of 1.8 million metric tons were up 33% from the previous week and 21% from the prior 4-week average, with China once again taking the lion's share. The Netherlands were also a significant customer for the week. Soybean meal exports of 183,000 metric tons were down 4% from the previous week, with the Philippines, Mexico, and Canada as primary destinations. Soybean oil exports were down 36% for the previous week, with Tunisia, Algeria, and Mexico as destinations. Beef exports of 9,000 metric tons went primarily to Japan, South Korea, and Hong Kong. Beef exports in 2015 totaled 608,000 metric tons, down 11% from 2014. Pork exports of 14,000 metric tons went primarily to Mexico and Japan. Pork exports totaled nearly 1 million metric tons in 2015, up 7% from 2014. Well, that's it for this week's report. I'm Elton Robinson, wishing you a very happy new year, and we'll see you next week.